Hello again, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. You're here at Mr. T Farming Simple. And today we'll be resuming our math topic, algebra. But first, proceed with our topic, algebra. I was told to go a little more in depth in terms of multiplication and the different rules, because while I was doing the different algebraic expressions last week, I noticed that there are few persons with issues as it relates to understanding the different signs and also how to do the different multiplications. So I want to pause a bit to identify some basic multiplication procedures. Alright? So the first up is BODMAS. Alright? BODMAS. And now this means bracket, this is of division, this is bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Alright? So this is bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So the rules as it relates to this word here now. When multiplying, for instance, the first thing you should attack when you have a problem is your bracket. Alright? And then if there's any division or multiplication, because this can go here or here. Because the same principle you apply when dividing, it's the same principle you apply when you're multiplying. Alright? So it's bracket first. Whenever you see a problem and there is a bracket, then you try to identify and work out the bracket first. And then wherever you see a division or a multiplication, then you try to flesh those out first. Then you add, then you subtract. Alright? So the same principle you apply when adding, it's the same principle you apply also when subtracting. I'm just going to see if I can recall any. For instance, you have 5 bracket 6 plus 7 close bracket. For instance, you have something like this. For instance, The first thing you should try to do is to get rid of what is in the bracket. However, you cannot get rid of whatever it is in the bracket unless you apply the same principle. Now, this outside of the bracket affects whatever is in the bracket. So you now need to do what? Use this to multiply whatever is in the bracket. So it is 5 times 6 plus 5 times 7. Alright? So that is basically 5 times 6 is 30 plus 5 times 7 is 35. For instance. And if you want to arrive at an overall answer, that would equal up to 65. Alright, so as you can see, the still final, because we didn't have any subtraction here, we have completed the bracket first, then we started multiplying. Alright, and then we started adding. So we have completed here first, the bracket, and then we start the multiplication, because there is no division, and then we start the addition, which is this, according to this BODMAS. Alright, that's what we're working with. So whenever you see a problem, the first thing you should try to do is to identify wherever you see a bracket and try to flesh that out. And then whether division, multiplication, you try to work those out first. And then whether addition, you try to add and then you subtract. Alright? So please bear this in mind. So whenever you're doing your work, it's everything becomes easy. And remember, it's BODMAS. Remember, as I said before, it's BODMAS. And again, we'll be looking at now some signs. Alright? I touched base on these signs last week, but I was moving a bit fast, so I want to ensure that you get these signs and you get them correctly. Alright? Especially when multiplying, because you oftentimes person get these signs convoluted when multiplying, especially. Alright? So the first up, we have negative. The minus sign is a negative sign. Alright? So this is negative. And this is positive. So this is a negative and this is a positive. Now, when multiplying a negative sign and a positive sign, there is a rule for us to follow when multiplying these signs. Alright? So I'll just explain it right away. So it's negative now times this x here is multiplied, but times is the same as multiply. Alright? So negative times negative equals positive, and negative times positive equals negative, and positive now times positive equals positive, and positive times negative equals negative. Alright? So negative times negative is equal to a positive answer. Negative times a positive will result in a negative answer. And a positive multiplied by a positive is equal to a positive. And a positive times a negative is also a negative result. Alright? So we're going to scratch down a few examples here to see if we can get a full understanding of this. Alright? So for instance, we have negative 5 times 6. And now, whenever you see a number by itself without a sign, it indicates that that number is positive, alright? So once there isn't a sign allotted to it, because if it was negative 5, for instance, negative 5 times negative 6, you could have written it this, it could have been written this way. Put the 6 in a small parenthesis or bracket. Alright, something looking like that. But we'll soon get to this. So whenever you see a number by itself, whether it's a number or a variable by itself, then it indicates that that number is actually a positive number. Now, negative 5 times 6 now is 5 6 is 30. That's negative 30. Alright, remember our rules. So it's a negative times positive is equal to negative. Alright, so that's the reason why this is how we arrive at negative 30, because we're multiplying a negative number by a positive number. Alright, please bear that in mind. Now, again, do another one. Alright, 12 negative 12 times negative 5. Alright, negative 12 times negative 5. Alright, so remember now, it's a negative 12 times a negative 5. So it can be written this way. So it's negative 12 times negative 5. Alright? And 5 12 is 60. So it's negative 12 times negative 5. So it's a negative number multiplying another negative number. And we know what that result will be. Alright? It's going to result in a positive, our answer will be positive. So it's positive 60. Because we're multiplying two negative numbers. Alright? So now, if we could do another one like this. For instance, we have negative 13 times negative 13. 13 times 13 is 169. That's positive 169. Alright? I'll show you further. 13, 3 is 9, 3 ones 3. So this is the, so I'll be showing you now, because we'll soon get to this. I'll be teaching you today also how to do 2-digit multiplication. So now it's 13 multiplied by 13. Alright? So it's 3 times 3. 3 is 9. Because you're going to use the 3 first to multiply the 13. Then you use the 1 to also to multiply the 13. Alright? So it's 3 times 3. You see 3 is 9. And 3 ones 3. Now you add a 0 as a placeholder because you will be using the 1 now. Because so you need to fill this space. Alright? So 3 ones 3. And 1 times 1 is 1. And you draw your line and you make your addition sign. Because after you completed your multiplication process, then you need to add to get your final answer. Alright, according to the same rule. So it's any number you add by 0, you add to 0 will result back in that same number. So 0 plus 9 is 9. So 0 plus 9 is 9. And 3 plus 3 is 6. And you just bring down back this one because you don't have anything to add it to. Alright? So you just bring back down that one. So that's how we arrive at 169. Alright? So 169. And remember, for instance, and if you multiply any number you multiply by 0, you will get back 0. For instance, this 10 times 0. 10 times 0 is 0. Alright? And 10 plus 0 is 10. So there is rules as you go along to basically identify. Alright? So as you go along, you would notice that I do something, it's basically based on a rule. Alright? So if you multiply a number by 0, you will eventually get 0. And if you add a number to 0, then you will get back that number. Alright? And now, as we were still on this, so if you multiply negative 13 times negative 13, that would result in a positive 169 because you're multiplying two negative numbers. And according to our rule, negative times negative is positive. Alright? Now moving right along. And if I should multiply, for instance, negative 6 times 8. Negative 6 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48, alright? 6 times 8 is 48. So you have 6, 1, 6. I need to use another. Remember what I said last week about our timetables? So 6, 1, 6, 6, 2s, 12, 3 6s, 18, 6 4s, 24, 5 6s, 30, and 6 6, 36. 6. So 6 1 6, 6 2 is 12, 3 6 is 18. Sorry, 6 4 is 24, 5 6 is 30, 6 6 36, 6 7 42, 6 8 48. Alright, 6 times 1 and 6. Yes, let me just. So we have 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5, 6 times 6, 6 times 7, 6 times 8. Alright? Is so that's equal to that, equal to that, equal to that, equal to that, equal to that. So 6 8 is 48. But if you want to do it another way, as you go along each step you add 6. It's basically that. So you from 6 times 1, 6, you add another 6 to that for you to multiply it by 2 for you to get 12. 12 plus another 6 is 18. Plus another 6 is 24. Plus another 6 is 30. Plus another 6 is 36. Plus another 6 is 42. Plus 6 and 2 is 8. Another 6 is equal to 48. So negative 6 multiplied by 8 is equal to negative 48. So it's negative 48. And how we arrive at negative 48? Remember our negative times positive. That's negative times positive, negative. Alright? So that's how we arrive at a negative answer. Alright? So please bear in mind we have to follow the rules. And according to the rules, that's how we arrive at our correct answers. Alright? So we want to now multiply two positive numbers now. Alright? So it's, for instance, now 12 multiplied by 12. So 12 multiplied by 12. So now we're going to go through this 12 times table. So it's 12. So it's 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, 12 times 4, 12 times 5, 12 12 times 6, 12 times 7, 12 times 8, 12 times 9, 12 times 10, 12 times 11, and then 12 times 12. Alright? So 12 now. So 12 times 1, and any number you multiply by 1, you will get back that number, that same number. So if it's 100 times 1, it's 100. If it's 10 times 1, it's 10. 5 times 1, it's 5. Alright, so 12 times 1 is equal to 12. Alright, 12 times 2 is 24. And if you want to see how we get some of these, we're going to work them out. That is what that's our aim. The 12 times 12, or 12 multiplied by 12, that's our aim. Alright, so it's 12 times 1. 12 times 1. Alright, 2 ones, 2, sorry. 2, 1, 2 is 2, 1, 1. So it's 12 times 12. 12 times 1, sorry, is 12. And 12 times 2. 2 twos, 2 twos, 4, and 2 ones, 2. So it's 12 times 2. So that's 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 1, 2. So 12 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 ones, 3. So it's 36. Twelve times 4. 4 twos, 8. 4 ones, 4. 48. 12 times 5. 5 twos, 5 twos, 10. You bring the 1 and you place the 0 down here. So you carry the 1 and you place the 0. 5 times 2 is 10. And now 5 times 1 is 5 plus another 1. So remember, you bring this 1 up here from the 10. It's not 1 take away 10 down. It's the same 10 you're putting down, but it's like you're writing it like this. 1 up here and 0 down here. For instance. Alright? But it's the same 10 you're writing. So it's 5 times 2 is 10. Alright? And 5 times 1, which is this one here. So you're using the 5 now. Using the 5 to multiply the 2, the 2 first. And you get 10, which is this 10. Alright? And then now you're going to use the 5, the same 5 to multiply the 1. So it's 5 times 1 is 5. Remember, we have this 1 up here, so we need to add this 1 to it. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Alright? So that's 6. So 5 times 12 is 60. Alright? So 5 times 12 is 60. So now we are at 12 times 6. So 12 times 6. So it's 6 times 2 is 12. So we put the 1 up here and we place the 2 down there. So it's 6 times 2 is 12 and 6 times 1 is 6 plus another 1 that we brought up here is 7. Good. So 12 times 6 is 72. 72. Alright, so now we're going 12 times 7. 12 times 7. So 7 times 2 is 14. And 7 times 1 plus another 1 is 8. 7 times 1 is 7 plus another 1 is 8. So 7 times 12 is 84. 84. So we are now 7 times 8. 12 times 8. So it's 12 times 8. And please remember to keep them in your columns. Alright? Keep them as much as, when I say column, because this is really a column. This is a column. So this is being represented as a column. Alright? And now this over here is a row. So row across, column is down. Alright? So these are rows. And these down columns. So down are the columns. So please, in order for you not to get your math confused, try to use up your columns. Alright, so that's in one column and that's in another column. Alright, so please always try to have them in order. So it's 12 times 8. Still at 12 times 8. 12 times 8. So 8 times 2 is 16. And 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1, 9. So 8 times 2 is 16. We carry the 1 and we put the 6 down here. Alright? And 8 times 1 is 8 plus another 1 is 9. So 12 times 8 is 96. 96. And 12 times 9 times 9, that's 9 twos 18. You carry the 1 and bring down the 8. 9 1 9 plus 1 is 10. You don't have anywhere to bring back and this one for you to carry 10. For you to carry 1 and put down 0. So you have to put down the whole 10. So 12 times 9 is 108. So 12 times 10. 12 times 10. Now we actually arrive now at something a little different, because this is a 2-digit multiplication. As simple as it looks, it's a 2-digit multiplication, which requires a different strategy or a different method. Alright, it's really the same principle, but the method will be changed a bit. I'll show you. So you're going to use the 0 to multiply the 12, and then you use the 1 to multiply the 12. Alright, so now, remember, as I said before, please always use your columns. Alright, so 0 times 2, remember, anything you multiply by 0, you will eventually get back 0. So 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. So now you're going to use the 1, so you still need a placeholder. So you add a 0 for that placeholder. Alright? And you multiply 1 times 2 is 1. 2 ones, 2. And you multiply 1 times 1, which is 1. Alright? So 0 plus 0, 0. Because you're adding down here now. And 1 plus 0 is 1. And you don't have anything to add that to. So you just bring back down that 1. So 10 times 12 is 110. 1, 1, 0. Alright? And 12 times 11. 12 times 11. Alright? So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Now you add a 0 for that placeholder. And you use the 1 now to multiply the 12. So you use 1 times 2 again is 2 ones, 2. And 1 times 1 is 1. So now you're going to add 2 plus 0. Remember, anything you add to 0, you will eventually get back that same number. So 2 plus 0 is 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. And you bring down this one. So it's 11, 12 multiplied by 11 is 132. 132. It's 132. And last but not least, the answer we've been waiting for. Twelve times 12. 12 times 12. Alright? 12 times 12. 2 ones, 2. Sorry. 2 twos. This is 2 times 2, which is 4. And 2 times 1 is 2. Now you add a 0 for the placeholder. And then 2 times 1 is 2. And 1 times 1 is 1. Now you start adding now. 0 plus 4 is 4. 2 twos. 2 plus 2, sorry, is 4. And you bring down this one. So 12 multiplied by 12 is 144. So our answer down here is 144, which is 144, which could be written as 12 squared. Alright? So 12 squared This can also be written as that 12 squared, which is 12 times 12. Whenever you see a number squared like this, it's the same as 12 times a number being times by itself. Alright? So the square or the little 2 up here is the same as that, which is 144. Alright? Another one, for instance, you have 20 times 14. I won't go past 2 digits for this video. I won't go past 2 digits, alright? So in another video, because I don't want to weary you out too much, because I want you to watch it and to get it and to learn it. For those who don't haven't grasped this concept as yet. So it's 4 times 0 is 0. Remember, anything you multiply by 0, you get back 0, alright? And 4 twos is 8. Now we're going to use the 1 now to multiply the 20. As usual, for your placeholder, and you multiply 1 times 0, which is 0. Multiply 2 ones, 2. Alright? Now 0 plus 0, so you're adding down here. Remember, based on our concept, this concept, alright, based on this concept. So you would have noticed when you, after you've completed your multiplication, your second stage during this process of multiplication is really addition. Alright? And this is multiplication. So after you've completed your multiplication process, then you start adding at your second stage. So now we are at the additional stage. So this is multiplication and this is addition. So now we're adding. So it's 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. And you bring down the 2 because you don't have anything to add it to. Alright, so it's 280. Alright? Please remember, after you've completed your process of multiplication, then the second stage in that process is addition. It's the same as being when you're dividing. After you've completed the initial stage of the division process, the second stage of the division process is the subtraction stage. But I'll do that in another video for you, because today I'll be doing just multiplication and addition. Alright? And the concepts of multiplication and rules when multiplying. Alright? So another one, for instance. For instance, 56 times 30. You notice how I try my best to use up the columns? Alright. Because I don't want to make any mistake. Because if it was written like this, 56 times 30. Alright, and you don't put it down there. you know that it would be so much convoluted and chaotic when you're working this. Try to, because it's basically saying that you're multiplying like this. So there should have been something else in this row, basically, for you to multiply. You understand? So try as much as possible to orderly place your numbers in your columns. Alright? So we're multiplying 30 by 56 by 30. So 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times 5 is also another 0. Now we're going to use the 3 to multiply the 56. So 3 times 6, 3 6 is 18. Bring the 1, remember. Sorry, moving a bit too fast. You add a 0. 3 times 6 is 18. And 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. Now that you don't have anywhere to place the 1 and to let the 6 remain, then you have to put down the entire 16. So we arrive at 1680. Alright? So the final answer for this, after your additional stage, is 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 8 is 8, and you bring down the 6 and you bring down the 1. So the final answer after you've completed this is 1680. Alright? And if you want, you could put a little comma there to indicate the thousand, different from the hundred and the tens. So this is in the thousands place. For instance, this is 1000, this is 100, this is the tens, basically. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So it's still in the tens place. Alright, so it's 1000, hundreds place, and the tens place. So if this was 81, for instance, so it's, for instance, 1681, then you could have ordered it like this: 1000, 100, tens, and the ones. Alright, 100, tens, ones. So the whole concept of tens and ones, 100,000 tens and ones, that's basically what they say. Alright? And as we go along, we will be learning how to multiply decimals, add decimals, dividing decimals, subtracting decimals. Just about all these basic steps, we will be doing them. So please try to watch all the videos. Don't skip it out, because you might just skip out the most important part. Try to watch it to the end, and if you want to watch, you can pause and watch and start over and watch, and to try to identify the different stage and the different concepts. Alright? And try to grasp each concept. and try to apply the different rules. As I said before, rules. These are rules. Alright? So if you don't apply the rules, then you won't get the math. Alright? So thank you again for watching, and please remember to like, subscribe, and share all my videos. Subscribe to my channel so I can continue, and share with your friends, your classmates, your family members. For those adults, you can also tune in and you can watch. You can share it with your co-workers or anybody, and help Mr. Thompson as I help you as well. So thank you again.